aspect of it doesn't change. The love is blind part plays a big role at this stage in our marriage, because things are no longer the way on the physical aspect look the same or in the same place as they used to be. But so I think if we move in reverse, then I think we would have a better understanding of what love really is. We typically, when we're saying love is blind, we're only talking about the physical aspect.
But mistaken. If I do remember, you said that sometimes you still see him as that person.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. The physical aspect. Now, physically, we see each other. We know we don't look the same at 17 and 18. But at times when I do think back, or I come across a picture or something like that, like in my mind, I'm like, damn, he's still that 20, 21-year-old in terms of my physical attraction to him. That has never changed. But
So
physical
my
body, absolutely
Oh,
has.
I thought when you said sometimes you said it was crazy because I still see him as that guy. Like he's still like when I look at him, I see that guy. You know what I'm saying?
That's what's
But I've
called
heard that before in
rekindling. You
older
gotta be,
people. Like it's like their mind stands still from that
Mhm,
time, from that younger age.
mhm.
You
That's called
Yeah.
rekindling the flame.
Mm.
So Miss Thing, I'm with you on that. The other things become more attractive, but back to this thickness thing. So I knew that after a baby, you get more hips and ass. So the size that I kind of like, I made sure you wasn't that size pre-baby. So post-baby, you could be at that size, and it
Well,
That's
I
a
would
lot of
say,
foresight.
it
well,
worked out.
you can
It
think
worked
like
out
that, but you never know what's going to happen. Like in my
true.
case,
But I'm
like if
happy.
you look at
Happy with
all of the women, especially like looking at my mom, a lot of times men say they look at the mother to see how the mother looks, to get an idea of the way the woman might look when she have kids. My mom had 4 kids. She doesn't look like she had 4 kids, but I ended up having a totally different pregnancy than my mom. And I ended up getting toxemia, all this stuff, and I ended up gaining massive weight in such a short period of
where
time.
you gained it at.
I gained it all over. Pictures, it was like my face was swollen, and my whole body was, because I also had pitting edema. So, like, I literally gained 10 pounds in one day because they had to measure my water retention, during my pregnancy. And I literally gained 10 pounds in one day. So I was 145-ish when I got pregnant. I was 220, and I didn't even go to full term. So I blew up. And I was a shock. Like after I had the baby, I was in shock of my own body after I had that baby, crying. Like there was definitely some depression going on after that because I was no longer myself. That wasn't anything that I could plan for or anticipate or knew was going to happen during my pregnancy, and neither could he. You know what I'm saying? So we can plan for things. And I know my situation isn't normal, so to speak, but what if I was your wife at that time? You know what I'm saying? And you're like, oh, I'm planning. She thinking the right places that I want. I had the hips, I had the small waist, I had all of that. And when I was finished, I had all of that and more.
I'd like
So
to. I'd like to think that a man that an understanding man will understand that things happen.
Mhm.
And I'm going to say that even when you were going through that, your husband saw 17-year-old you, which goes more back to my point. Don't try to date someone you're not attracted to. You have to have that attraction because I do kind of agree that that image gets imprinted
Mhm.
onto your brain. And I do think that in some respect that is the same person you see for the rest of your life. Like even as she changes or he changes, that person you met, that that person you were attracted to is that same person years later that you see when you look at that person, if I make sense.
no, it makes
So so you don't want to, let's say, try to date somebody just because of their personality if you're not attracted to them, Because what happens 10 years down the road when you see that same person you weren't really attracted to begin with? You still see that person.
I think we was talking about people you attracted to, but not the. So say we was on the spectrum. I don't think not attracted was on the scale. It was the most attracted to just attract. Like I agree. You got to be, especially for a man, you got to be able to. You know what I'm saying? So you need to be able to look at them and feel away. But
So I got a quick question to the just to everybody. Is there such thing as fluctuating attraction? That, say for instance, you initially look at this person, you're like, ooh, but then you might see them one time after you saw them as attractive and you saw things that wasn't attractive to you. And for that moment, you was just like, ah. But then you see them another time and you're like, ooh. Like, have you guys ever experienced fluctuating attraction?
Only
I
after the club.
Sounds like being human to me, because
Absolutely.
everybody's not all 100% all time. So, you know what I'm saying? I might wake up to you, might have drool all over your face, like, yeah, gonna this Negro stank, breath stank. You know what I'm saying? So it's a fluctuating thing. It's human. We're not like perfect. We're not on point all the time. And so like just if like that's your girl, like they said, I'm gonna stick beside them. Okay, let's clean it up. All right, but
Like when you mad at
it's
a person,
natural.
You're terrible.
yeah, no,
Let
what
me.
she's
I want to play this
saying.
video real soon, and it's almost the same conversation. But go ahead. What you saying, Tara?
I was gonna say it's true because, like in relationships, sometimes when you mad at a person, sometimes you can't even stand to hear them breathe. There's like no attraction, then you be like, God, this nigga get on my nerve, and vice versa. Like I know dudes be feeling the same way sometimes when they're like, God, I can't even stand the way she chew now. You know what I'm saying? So that attraction at times it depends on where you are in your feelings for that person in that moment. That you cannot be attracted to them. um, so absolutely, but then it changes one like I know guys be like, yo, women are crazy. But there are times I could be so mad at my husband, I'd be like, God, I can't stand that nigga. He get on my nerve. Like, man, what would life like I'll fantasize at times like what life would be like if I was single. Damn, then but then it'll flip, he'll do something. I'll be like, damn, I love that nigga. Like it'll change at a moment's notice, and then I'm like, dang, see, now I see why I love him so much. I love, so